Hello, welcome to the lectures about the clouds. In the previous lectures, we were just talking about what are the different rainfall conditions possible. Then rainfall is related to the clouds, how we ourselves can watch the cloud and then assess whether it is going to rain or not, which is essential for the agriculture practices. Now, this is what you can do it on the ground conditions. Now, for a region whether the cloud formation is happening or not, for that purpose what we need to do is we have to use the weather satellites and what are the different cloud pattern reading can be done, which is to be done on an organization basis, not by the individuals. Now, we are talking about in the GIS, one among the subject which we talked about is the remote sensing application, that is nothing but the satellite data which orbits the earth surface at a regular interval, which records what are the changes on the earth surface. Now, there is other kind of satellites which are meant for weather satellites, that is what is known as a weather satellites. These weather satellite are meteorological satellites, they are positioned at a particular place covering the earth surface and the clouds and cloud movements from that particular place. That is what is called as they are geostationary, positioned at one place and they are more than 35,000 kilometers above the earth surface. So, what is the advantage is it will be able to watch the clouds and the land portions below it continuously, so that we will be able to monitor the cloud patterns and its dynamics. Now, they are polar orbiting satellites. What do you understand by the polar orbiting satellites? It circles north to south, that is how does it moves, whereas the other satellites they move along with the sun. So, that means it will be moving from the east to west direction. Now, there are these satellites can record the cloud patterns in a different bands. One is a visible band, that is 0.55 to 0.9 micrometer. Then it has got a infrared band, two infrared bands, one is at 3.5 and another is 4 micrometer, third one is 10.5 to 20.5. This 11.5 to 12.5, this portion it is called as a atmospheric windows, whereas the observations are reflected sunlight in the daytime and the brightness is at the night time. This is what you will be able to see it from this wavelength bands. And in the water band it is 6.5 to 7 micrometer wavelength band. So, what you will be able to achieve is you will be able to see what is the water content in those cloud patterns. That is the previous one is the brightness and it gives you about the temperature variations. By this is how does it do, and what we will be able to see is the images. So, what we are interested in the visible image is it is the reflectance from the cloud surfaces are studied, then whereas which will tell you about what type of cloud pattern it is, and one thing is a pattern structure and how much droplet is raindrops are there in these clouds. Now, the texture is here we are talking about the stratiform structure or whether it is a convective cloud which is rugged and uneven. These textures can be easily observed by when the sunlight is hit this cloud top obliquely. So, this picture is the picture from the Kalpana satellites and taken in 23 November 2015 around 1414. So, this is the visible band which will be able to tell you about the cloud texture and the type of droplets which we are likely to have it up. So, where do I get these cloud pictures is the IMD, Indian Meteorological Department has a site and you will be able to go and then watch this type of pictures every time. How do I watch it is, you know where you are, suppose if you are there around Hyderabad. So, you look at Hyderabad and the surrounding areas, whether they are clouds or no clouds. That is how this GIS information can be synergized with the satellite data, and you can read the cloud patterns, cloud texture, and you can assess on the ground whether there will be a rain or no rain. Another picture is, another information you can get from here is from the infrared images. These infrared images, they give something information about the temperature distribution can be found out, and also water vapor to this extent can also be made. Now, when you look at it, these are all the, this is the boundary of India, and these are all the different states, and these are all done with the geographical information in mind, and these are all the cloud patterns, the core clouds and the surrounding clouds which are there. So, when you look at it, whether the clouds are circular or not circular, that will tell you about whether is there a cyclonic pattern, cloud pattern is formed or not. This can be observed here also. This is same day of the previous slides. Now, this is another picture to show you what is the cloud pattern size which you will be able to see. One is the thicker top clouds, and another thing is the peripheral. We will be able to do some grayscale analysis and then assign values, how much is the water content in this type of cloud pattern. Then that is one thing, that is the pattern we will be able to assess it. Then another thing which you are able to see it up over here is the big cloud pattern in this type of areas. So, this every 3 hours these cloud patterns, either they move from one place to another place, or the thick chunk of clouds which is there, either they may be dissipated, they will be disintegrated and moves from places. This type of dynamic changes which are happening in the cloud section or in the atmospheric sections, that could be observed by these satellite pictures. Now, this will tell you about cloud motion, and these are all the different units, how much it is possible, and this is about, and these are all the pressure conditions in all these things are given. When you look at it, this type of circular pattern, it will tell you then when you see a cyclonic wind or cyclonic formation, you will have a this type of wind cloud pattern will be possible. So, if you see something similar to that, that means in that area there is a cyclonic formation or there is a circular movement is possible, and that is being reflected by this type of some of the clouds, but it is not totally developed by the cyclonic wind, it has got a tendency towards that. So, if there is a cyclonic pattern, then what happen is there will be related rainfall is also possible. So, what is this color picture is the visible information, then is temperature information, all these 3 separate band, they are all laid one over, then the color composite is generated using the computer system that will differentiate. Now, we were not able to mark out clearly, whereas now we will be able to see this is one set of one patch of cloud pattern, this is another patch of cloud pattern having a different texture and a different thing, so different aspect. So, this is the third one. Like that we would be able to classify the cloud pattern into so many classes, and those classes can be assigned whether what is the potentiality or the probability of a rainfall could be assigned to them for our making use of it in the agriculture activities. Now, this is water vapor, how the water vapor is in the, this is the water vapor areas. What are the different kinds of water vapor information? On the same day, it is the same day which you are able to see it, and this is the wind pattern, and this type of information will be, if there is going to be a wind pattern is going to be in a bigger way, then the cloud movements will be faster when compared to the rest of the years. Now, there is in that same site, what you will be able to have is certain geophysical parameters as well as the rainfall in areas. So, these are all the high rainfall, low rainfall regions that which is a processed data image processing, processed data, satellite data is given in this format. So, they have got a rainfall per day is also given over here. Now, if you are somewhere in this part of the country, so there is the probability of a rainfall is very less, whereas when you are there somewhere in this part of the country, then the probability of the rainfall is on a small, to some extent there may be some range depending upon the scale variations. So, this is the type of information which you will be able to see it, and the same information, this is about the humidity, upper tropospheric humidity is also given over here. So, these are all the different kinds of information which satellite based information, which will, from where we will be able to identify different cloud patterns having, and the probability of a rainfall over a region can be ascertained, and that is how that information is used and given in your AccuWeather information about the. Then what they give here is they take about your lat long and then are the cities in mind, and then they try to give whether what is the cloud pattern, what is the probability of rain is given over there. Whereas for a rural areas, if we have to do it, then it has to be done extrapolated, and then you have to arrive at it whether there will be a rainfall or not for that particular area. So, this is another set of satellite pictures, which is you will be again you will be able to see the movements here and there. This is the continuous pattern, yes, this is the same thing, and based on that, if you are looking for that, that is the input for this weather interpretation, weather forecast. Based on this satellite information which is available every 6, 9, 12, 15 like that, every 3 hours this same satellite data is available, and that will tell you about what is the cloud pattern and how it is moved from one time from 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock, how it is moved, and this type of dynamic information forecasting is used in our weather forecast which we get it. So, this is when you want to lead this, what do they mean by that is, if you see a cloud, this is the cloud in this particular picture, what it shows is the place wherever you are, in that place if you will be observing the cloud pattern, whereas when you see here there will be amidst the cloud there will be some amount of sunshine is possible, whereas here there is a dark clouds, the probability of rainfall is available. So, this is based on the satellite cloud information which they are able to derive at it. So, it is between day and night, this type of differences you are able to get it because of the dynamic information which you get it from the satellite data. So, previously the same thing when you look at it over a week, Saturday, Sunday for another 3 days forecast. So, they try to see whether at this particular day even there is a moving cloud pattern, whether it will pass through that or whether it will come and stay on the next 24 hours depending upon the rate of movement or the speed at which it moves towards through your area. That is used for giving you either the temperature or the rainfall pattern which is there. Cloud cover is 92% which is said here, that means when you look at the horizon 92%, only 8% of the sky is visible to you, whereas when it comes down to here the cloud coverage is 100%, that means it is totally cloud, whether it is a white cloud or whether it is a grey cloud, whether it is a cumulus cloud or a stratiform cloud, whatever which we have learned, based on that we will be able to say whether it is going to rain or not rain. Rain is there, but we are not sure about the quantity of the rainfall. Unless it falls over there, then only the quantity of rainfall is possible. And the forecast always they say what type of the rainfall is expected, plus minus is always there. That is how this type of weather forecast is based on the satellite information which I have shown it to you. So, what type of information which you can take from this cloud weather reading, cloud pattern reading is whether will there be a cloud in my area, if that is the case, what type of cloud it is, whether it has got a rainfall potential or not. If there is a rainfall potential, then you can wait for one more day for your irrigation or starting a pump. If the cloud is white in nature and if it is the potential is nil for rainfall, then you may have to start your pump so that your crop can be saved. This is the advantages of this type of satellite cloud pattern reading. Thank you.